Well, hi, everyone, and welcome to the Minnesota Association for College Admission Counseling Virtual College Fair. We are so excited to have you participating in this event tonight and have some really fantastic schools here with us today. So my name is Karis, and I will be your facilitator. So before we get started, I have just a few housekeeping items. The first one is that you will notice that your camera and microphone are off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. You can, however, use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to the presenters at any time. This is just one of the many sessions happening tonight, so be sure that you are continuously checking that schedule on the website so you don't miss out. And then finally, this presentation is being recorded and will be available at strivescan.com/Minnesota. So without further ado, I will go ahead and turn it over to our first institution, which is the University of Minnesota, Duluth.
Alrighty, hey everyone, I hope you can see my screen there. I am just going to briefly go over kind of some of a summary of what UMD is and what we can offer you. And if you have any questions, feel free to throw them into the Q&A and I can get to those later. But first of all, a lot of students, I'll just kind of go through here. A lot of students do come to UMD because of the location. So they love the city of Duluth, and a lot of people have been here before, but if you haven't, Duluth itself is pretty much a blend of outdoorsy, kind of artsy kind of scene. It's kind of like, I like to describe it as like a small town city. So you can kind of get the best of both worlds that way. It's not too big, but also not too small to still get a lot of resources, amenities, stuff like that. As far as academics at UMD, we do have 4 colleges within our campus, and you can see them listed there. And so you can we do offer over 160 different majors and minors, so you can really find the area that's perfect for you here. We do have some really unique majors and minors here as well, specifically more outdoor-based ones as well, but just due to being in the city of Duluth. We are also the perfect size, we consider ourselves. So we are part of the U of M system. So there is a bigger campus, the U of M City campus. Then we do have smaller campuses as well, but UMD is this nice medium size, kind of like the city of Duluth, where it's large enough to be able to offer you loads of amenities and opportunities, internships, things like that. But then again, it's still small enough for you to be able to get that personal touch to your education as well, and really be able to become a part of the UMD community while you're here. We do believe that UMD is a great value in that 96% of our alumni get placed right after graduation. And then you can see the average salary starting right over there as well. And then as far as getting involved on campus, all right, so we have quite a few clubs and organizations, student organizations, and those can range from anything to being maybe academic, or we have Greek life, we have religious groups, we also have lots of hobby clubs and organizations as well, whether that's going to be more artsy, maybe you wanted to go into pottery, ceramics, or painting, or swing dancing, or anything like that. Or you could also go into something maybe more adventurous and outdoorsy, of course. We definitely have like surfing out on Lake Superior. We have camping and canoeing in the Boundary Waters. You can go sea kayaking the Apostle Islands. You can go rock climbing along the North Shore, things like that. And so there's just a lot to do with that as well. Or you can kind of go in the middle too, where you can go outside and go maple syruping in our Bagley Nature area. We do have acres of land on our campus as well, where you can go kayaking, canoeing in the pond, or hiking through the trails, cross-country skiing in the trails. We have a classroom out there, a campground out there. We're definitely, what makes us unique is we're definitely more of an outdoorsy kind of campus for sure. We also have loads of different sports and activities for you to be involved in. So if you're a student where you really want to keep your toes or keep your whole feet in sports, that's definitely easy to do. And so you can do that as well. We are obviously, if you're curious, we are a D2 school overall. We are D1, and many of you might already know that sport is hockey. We've been ranked #1 in the country multiple years in a row for the past few years. So we are very proud of that, and it's a lot of fun to go to those games for sure. And then we also have loads of music ensembles that you can be a part of, or even just enjoy as a student, things like that. So you can really find what you want to find here at UMD. Something else that's pretty cool is that if you come to UMD and you don't see something that you're noticing something that you can bring to the team, you could definitely start up your own club as well. That's definitely something a lot of our students do. And it's nice to be able to graduate and say, hey, I started an organization at the University of Minnesota Duluth. So UMD helps you out that way too. As far as admissions requirements, we do have a very simple application process. We only require 3 things, which is the application itself, which usually takes about 20 minutes to fill out because we don't have long essays or anything like that on there. The only other 2 things we require is a transcript, and your high school transcript. And then we also require the application fee or the waiver. Once you have those things in, that's all that's required. We are a test optional institution. You can submit additional materials if you're like, maybe my transcript doesn't really represent who I am as a student. I want you to know more. That's fine. That's great. You can submit additional materials, definitely like a personal statement, letters of recommendation. We read through everything. There isn't a certain threshold that you have to pass with your GPA or anything like that for us to look at your application. We have a 33.3 to 3.8 kind of average for the students we admit, but 25% fall above that range, 25% fall below that range. So definitely if you're considering Duluth, UMD, you can definitely apply that way too. But again, if you have any kinds of questions, definitely feel free to throw them in the Q&A and I can answer any of those for you while the rest present. But otherwise, thank you so much for having me.
Thanks so much. We will go ahead and kick it over to our next university, which is Kansas State.
Awesome. Good afternoon, everyone. It's so nice to have you all here with us this afternoon. And this will just be a great way to have a summary over what K-State is and what that investment looks like for you as a K-State student. So outside as K-State, we are a Big 12 university. So we are on that larger scale of about 21,000 students. We still keep to that 18-to-1 faculty to student ratio. So no, even on that larger scale school, we are still applying and making sure that you have those smaller size classrooms so you are able to meet and have those opportunities with your professor and those other classmates. As well as we want to set you up well for success. And so at K-State, we do have the largest career fair in the Big 12. And that has an opportunity for you to network, meet with different companies of your interest, and also get you to a place where we have 95% of our students after they graduate in jobs or extended education in those different areas. And then I think one of my favorite kind of statistics there is we have the #1 happiest students on our campus. We want to make sure every K-Stater feels they are supported and continuing in something they're interested in and having that success. I know I felt that way as a student. I felt very valued. And so it definitely contributes to what I continue to do in life and have really appreciated what K-State has offered. Outside of that, we are on the larger scale, and then we have about 9 different colleges. One of our colleges is in a smaller campus in Salina, Kansas, and then the rest of our academics are on our main campus in Manhattan, Kansas. And so the different areas of colleges, we have agriculture, architecture, planning and design, our business college, education, engineering, human sciences, and veterinary medicine. And then our technology and aviation is at our other campus in Salina, Kansas. And within these different colleges, we have over 250 plus majors and 50 plus minors and certificates. So we're really customizable to what you want to do in a career and what we also can provide you academically. Outside of those areas, we also want to make sure we're providing you a time to get involved outside the classroom. And this is where a lot of students have enjoyed creating community and continuing things that they have enjoyed in high school and continue that in college. And at K-State, we are primarily a research institution. And so we provide a lot of undergraduate research opportunities for our students. Outside of that, I can tell you in my own experience, I got involved in undergraduate research. I had no idea what that looked like as a student. student, but I was able to meet and connect with some of my professors in my academic, and we were able to do different research opportunities. In my area was therapy and different areas of that nature. And I got to see data analysis and also therapy sessions, and what I could provide in theory in different areas like that. Now, this can be in any area you want to go into academically. Research is offered all across the board in different academic areas you're in, and know that this is an extreme benefit for students to have those hands-on experiences and connections to those professors. Outside of that, we have over 500 plus clubs and organizations. So no, sky's the limit on what you can get involved in. And even if you see something that isn't in your specific area of interest, you can create a club as well with 3 other friends and an advisor included in that. So no, that can be an area of academics, any hobbies or interests that you have, and also some leadership opportunities in those clubs and organizations. Outside of that, we also have our education abroad department. And this can be a chance for students to go abroad, whether they want to go 2 weeks, a month, a semester, even a full year. And at K-State, we visit over 85 different countries. So lots of opportunity to expand your education and gain those experiences outside the classroom. And then lastly, we do have Greek life organizations, and this can range from just our regular outside Greek life to also our diversity and multicultural students have their Greek life organizations as well. And if this is an interest to you, I definitely recommend, it's not a have to. I know in my experience at K-State, I had a lot of great opportunities in my Greek life organization that provided a lot of opportunities for me later on. So if that's an interest to you, definitely look into those different areas. Now to kind of the nuts and bolts to make sure you have this with you, how to apply. We want to make sure our students have that opportunity to come to K-State. So we are a test optional school. So here on this PowerPoint, you can see that we have either or here. And within your GPA, we want to see that you have a 3.25 GPA or higher, and this is weighted or unweighted, or a 21 or higher ACT, or a 1060 SAT. And you're able to complete our application through our K-State website through that link that's posted on that PowerPoint slide. Really simple, 15 to 20 minutes of your time on that application, just information on yourself, no rec letters or essays included in that. And then obviously, probably the most important side is financially, how to afford college and get to where we can come to college. And what's awesome with our admission side of K-State, once you apply and are admitted to K-State, you are already put into the general pool of our university scholarships and awards. So as long as you turn in that application and the priority date, which is December 1st is when you want to have that application in, you will also put in your time to get those scholarship opportunities as well. So have December 1st on your radar and in your brain. Outside of that, we also have the K-State Scholarship Network. And this is an opportunity for you to gain scholarships even as a K-State student. So during your 4 years, you will actually fill this out every single year. It's a time for you to brag about yourself. You can go on and tell them what you've been involved in those different areas. And then these are scholarships that you can earn in your departments that you join in college, different areas that you've gained knowledge in. So definitely take advantage of this and this opportunity to gain some scholarships. And then of course, last but not least, our free application for federal student aid, the FAFSA, a great opportunity for you to gain some loans, grants, and a work study opportunity where you may not have to pay all those loans and grants back, but also having more of that financial support for you to be able to get to college in those different areas. And so I know that is a lot of information to take in this time frame. So we want to make sure at K-State you're connecting with your specific admissions representative. So on our website, you can find this page where you are able to put in your specific info and connect with your specific admissions representative. But it has been great to be here with you all this afternoon, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your evening.
Perfect. Thanks so much. Our next institution that you will get to hear from is the University of Roehampton, London.
Thank you so much for having me. Hopefully I'll get my screen shared here and you'll be able to see everything okay. So yeah, thanks so much for having us here tonight. I'm Amanda Lundberg and I'm from the University of Roehampton, London. And I'm so happy to be sharing a little more about studying in the UK with you. Forgive me, my PowerPoint does not want to move on. Here we go. All right, so we are known as London's campus university. What that means is that we're unique in the fact that we have a single campus in London. Most London universities have several campuses throughout. You can get a little snapshot of our beautiful campus here. We've been ranked again as one of the top 10 universities in London. We're really close to the center, which I'll show you in just a moment. And we have a proud long history of 180 years in education, including being one of the first institutions to educate women. So here you can see some fast facts and figures. We have around 12,000 students at Roehampton. We're made up of about from 146 different nationalities, which means that 28% of our students are from outside of the UK. We're also really proud to be ranked 5th amongst London universities for student satisfaction, and 93% of our students do go on to employment or further study within 6 months of graduation. So here you can get a little picture of our proximity to central London. The buildings just up in the center of the screen are the kind of touristy area, that's central London. And we're just down in the southwest corner between Richmond Park, which is one of the largest royal parks in London, and Wimbledon, which of course the annual tennis matches go on. So you can kind of get an idea of where we are. We have a beautiful green space. It's kind of the quieter end of London and one of the safest boroughs as well. So here's our campus. You can see how lush and green it is. It's a 54-acre parkland campus, and it's split up into 4 historic colleges. And many schools do have colleges, as you've heard already tonight, but we like to compare ourselves to Harry Potter, of course. Our colleges do compete against each other in different annual games on campus, the College Cup, but all of these do house the different departments of study, which we'll be looking at in just a moment. So these are all of our undergraduate programs here. We have 6 different departments that all of our majors fall under. The biggest thing that's unique in the UK is that our degrees are 3 years long rather than 4 like here in the US. And our master's degrees are largely one year, though there are a few that are 2. So you could have 2 degrees in the time it takes you to get 1 here in the US, which is fantastic. And you can see we've got a wide variety of programs to choose from. And with these, you can either do a single subject, and sometimes you can combine subjects as well. So here's a snapshot of our entry requirements. So largely we'll be looking at your transcript, we'll be looking at your cumulative GPA. We are completely test optional and have been since before the pandemic. And with an exception of a couple of different areas such as English and creative writing and life sciences, those are the only 2 programs where we're going to be looking at your specific grades in the relevant subjects. Otherwise, we're completely test optional. Though please do submit your tests if you have had a chance to take them. They can never hurt, is like what we like to say. And then of course, if you're doing something like dance, we will require an audition either in person or video as well. And we also accept transfer students. So if you're at a community college or you want to start there first, maybe do an AA, you can always transfer over to us as well. So making an application is super simple. You can either apply through UCAS, which is the UK's version of the Common App. It allows you to apply to 5 different universities at once, or you can apply online for free on our website, which is always a nice option as well. And you can see here what we require. Obviously, standardized test scores. If you haven't had a chance to take them, we don't have to submit them. But it's worth noting here that we do have rolling admissions, which means that there's no hard deadlines to apply. And some of our applications, some of our courses rather, do have a January intake as well. So you can apply to start in September or January. So here's just a little bit about our tuition and funding opportunities. So tuition, like I said, with the 3-year degrees, you're going to save a year of tuition. So it's automatically going to be a little cheaper than the US. But if you're looking at out-of-state options or other private schools, we're either comparable or cheaper than a lot of those options, which not many people know. So around $18,000 per year for international students and around $35,000 for the total costs. And then we have several scholarships that you can apply for. The one that you're automatically assessed for is our merit-based scholarship. So if you have a high GPA, you'll definitely qualify for one of the different tiers of scholarship there. And then we do, of course, accept FAFSA as well. So you can apply for US federal loans through FAFSA to fund your studies in the UK. So a little bit of accommodation. It's guaranteed for all of our US and international students. All of our accommodation is on campus, so you won't have to go venturing off campus to try to find something on your own. The biggest difference between US and UK accommodation is that you do have your own single private bedroom, and you can either opt for a private ensuite bathroom or a semi-suite shared bathroom with a couple of other students. But it's a fantastic way to get to know other UK students and other international students as well. So college life, of course, we've got tons going on campus, like most universities do. Here's just a little preview of what you'll find at Roehampton. So no matter what you're into, you'll definitely have a fantastic social experience, whether it's through our societies, is what we call clubs, through sports, volunteering, Of course, Central London has a fantastic nightlife, so there's no exception to that with coming to Roehampton, and you'll have just tons to get involved with. And the most important thing here is that the ethos at Roehampton is based on social justice and equality, and we're very proud to put all of our students on an equal playing field. And just kind of finally here, this is our competitive sports. You can see there's lots to get involved with here. You can also play for fun. If you don't want to compete, you can just play socially on one of the social clubs as well. But one of the things to highlight here is our brand new study play program. If you're a soccer player, this is fantastic because we just partnered with the Premier League club Crystal Palace, which is a professional English football club, and you'll be able to play and train professionally with them. You'll be training with them while you're studying with us. So it's a fantastic new partnership that we're really excited about. So if you're a soccer player, make sure you check that one out. And that wraps me up here. So there's tons of QR codes here. Please feel free to scan any of these for more information. You can chat with the current student. You can contact my colleague Haley or myself. We're both based here in the US, and you can check out our USA page as well. But thank you so much for being here tonight, and good luck with your college search.
Thank you. Well, we will go ahead and keep things going with Wartburg College. And just as a reminder, if you all have any questions, go ahead and put those in the Q&A and we will get to them as we can.
Hi, everyone. My name is Kayla Johnston. I am an admissions counselor here at Wartburg College. I am also a 2019 graduate from Wartburg. So if you're kind of wondering where we're at, this map will kind of give you a good overview. Our main campus location is in Waverly, Iowa, so Northeast Iowa. That would be that orange dot there on the map. We also have two satellite campus options. We have a Wartburg West International program out in Denver, Colorado, as well as a Des Moines Urban Studies program in Des Moines, Iowa. Some fast facts for you guys to kind of take a peek at here. Our enrollment, we're sitting right about 1,500 students. Our average class size is sitting at about 19, and student to faculty ratio is right at about 11:1. We are doing a liberal arts approach, being a private liberal arts school. So we follow an essential education plan, and I'll also have a 4-4-1 academic calendar. So breaking that down a little bit, we do 4 classes in the fall, 4 in the winter, and then we do offer a May term option for our students, where you can take a class on campus, you can work on an internship, field experience, but you can also study abroad during that time. 97% success rate amongst all of our graduates as well. So that just means that majority of our students do finish in 4 years or less. We do have students from 38 US states and 61 countries. And we also have more than 20 Christian denominations and several other world religions represented on our campus. We do have over 50 different majors. Our top 5 programs are going to be business administration, biology, psychology, music therapy, and elementary education, as well as a large range of other opportunities for students to study, and then different opportunities for research. So some of your majors that you might be interested in will have required research. And so they've got a lot of different opportunities for students for what they can do throughout the school year or over the summers. And this is also a good opportunity to explore some of those satellite campuses that I mentioned earlier, like Wartburg West, and then our Des Moines Urban Studies program. Study abroad opportunities also range as well. So students can also travel during the normal fall or winter term, as well as that May term option. We are a part of the Division III American Rivers Conference. So we have just over 600 student athletes represented on our campus. And as you can see, we have a wide range of sports available for both men and women. Clay Target Sports is our most recent addition to campus. And so if you have any interest in participating and being a part of one of these teams, be sure to reach out to us so we can get you connected with that coach. Music is also a very big part of the Wartburg environment. We have over 18 ensembles, and so this does consist of band, choir, orchestra, and then other extracurricular ensembles. We have over 500 students involved in music at Wartburg as well. One thing to note is that you do not have to be a music major to participate in music. So if this is just something that you're hoping to have on the side of your college experience, you can definitely still be a part of it and pursue that passion of yours. Some of our ensembles do require an audition, but one of the nice things about Wartburg is that we do have music scholarships available. So we have 4 dates coming up throughout the winter and fall, and so you can receive up to $5,000 that's renewable for all 4 years, and this is based off of your audition. We also have something called our Student Success Center on campus. And so they offer academic, personal, and professional support for students. So for the academic side of things, the Peer Learning Lab is a great opportunity to go if you're needing any help as far as testing services, how to study, just that general academic transition. On the personal side of things, we have counseling services, disability and access, and then first year experience and mentoring as well. And then on the professional side, the career services, vocation, and mentoring. This is a great opportunity if you're looking to update your resume or if you're even thinking about doing some job prep. For our admissions process, we do have a free application. So we don't have a deadline as well. So we do have rolling admissions. It's also non-binding, and we are test optional. So some scholarship opportunities that you can pursue. Once you do apply, you will receive your first merit-based scholarship. This is upwards of the $26,000 to $30,000 right off the bat. So once you do apply, you will receive your admission status within about a week, as well as that scholarship opportunity. We also have an out-of-state grant for students. So if you're obviously coming from anywhere outside of the state of Iowa, we have a $2,000 out-of-state grant for you. The departmental visit days are coming up as well throughout the fall. And for attending these in an area of your interest, you would receive an additional $1,000 per year. Night Scholarship Day is another really cool time to get to campus and earn an additional scholarship. This is specific to your academics. And so if you have any questions about that, definitely reach out to us so we can get you registered for that. If you want to connect with us, be sure to take down any of this information here. We're happy to set up any virtual or in-person visits. So if you are able to come to campus, we would love to host you for a very personalized visit. Make sure that you're able to meet with your counselor as well as any faculty, staff, coaches across campus that could potentially help you in your college search process. Thank you guys so much for being here today. Please let me know if you have any questions.
All right. And up next, we have Seattle University.
Cool. Thank you all for being here. Happy to be here with you. Let me share my screen here. My name is Patrick McCarthy. I'm one of our assistant directors of admission here at Seattle U, and I am covering for one of our admissions counselors. Her name is MACAC. She works with you all in the Midwest, and I'm going to put her fall recruitment portal in the chat here. That way you can sign up for an interview with her or see what high schools she's visiting. So check that out if you want to save that for later to connect with MACAC. But Seattle U, we are a small private Catholic Jesuit school in Seattle, Washington. So we have about 4,500 undergraduate students and about 7,200 students total. Being a Jesuit Catholic school, the Jesuits are an order of the Catholic Church. They're known for education and social justice. Those are kind of the pillars of the Jesuits. There's 27 Jesuit schools around the country, others being Loyola Chicago in the Midwest, Xavier, Creighton, Marquette in the Midwest, University of San Francisco, Georgetown, Gonzaga is another one in Washington State, but we are one of those. About a third of our students identify as Catholic, so we do have a number of religions represented on campus. If you're not Catholic, you don't have to be. You will find a place at Seattle U. But as a mid-sized school, smaller to mid-size, the average class size at Seattle U is about 18 students. So our biggest classes are really like 40 to 50 students. Pretty small classroom setting. Every single class is taught by a professor, so you will always be learning from someone that is pretty well versed in their field. And student to faculty ratio, for those wondering, is about 11 to 1, 11 students for every 1 faculty member. So you will get to know your professors very, very well. Students come from all over the place. About 65% of our students come from out of state. So the majority of our students are not at home when they come to Seattle U. So we are not a commuter campus by any means, as a lot of urban campuses tend to be. Students are on campus all the time. Though we are in the middle of the city, very residential campus. So we have residence halls for freshmen and sophomore students on campus, guaranteed housing those 2 years, and it's required that students live on campus their freshman and sophomore year, and then junior and senior year, it's up to students where they live. but there are on-campus options. And even though we are in the middle of the city, we're about a 15-minute walk from downtown, as I said, we have a very distinct college campus. So you're not going to have to like cross city streets to get to and from classes, which is a pretty unique piece of Seattle U. It's very much like an urban oasis, as cliche as that sounds, where you can kind of escape the city, but also have the city as your backdrop to have fun, to do internships, to get involved, etc. So we love our location. That's really the biggest draw for students to Seattle U, along with being a smaller institution where you're not going to be one of like 300 students in a class. And academically, we have about 65 undergraduate programs. Our most popular programs being nursing, criminal justice, computer science, psychology, biology, economics. But we have 4 colleges: the College of Arts and Sciences, which is our largest college, with more of those liberal arts types majors: psychology, criminal justice, social work, etc. A College of Nursing, a College of Business, and a College of Science and Engineering. Every student does what's called the University Core Curriculum, which is like our general education requirements. Pretty widespread interdisciplinary coursework though. So no matter your major, you're going to be taking classes across disciplines. And every single student will do the core curriculum unless you're in the honors program, but the honors program is much more specific to each major. There's a separate application process for that. Certainly encourage you to look that up or ask about it if you have questions. And then our pre-major studies program is very unique to Seattle U. It's for students that either don't know what they want to do yet or have a few different things in mind. So if you're not quite sure, or if you're thinking like maybe business or criminal justice or engineering, you can come in as pre-major studies and work with an academic advisor to like find the right fit for you. So it's not like a build your own major program, but it very much gives you the support and the resources you need to figure out what you want to do. Because newsflash, most people when they're 17 or 18 don't really know what they want to do for the rest of their lives. I changed my major 3 times when I was in college. A lot of people change their major many times, and the goal of the pre-major studies program is for you to not do that. Every program that we have is direct entry. So when you apply to Seattle U, you will apply directly to a program. You can change majors after you get to Seattle U, but the one piece I want to note is that you must apply directly to nursing to be considered for nursing. That is our most competitive program, one of our most highly ranked at Seattle U, but that's the one where you have to be admitted to study nursing. You can't change your major later to become a nursing major. And then in terms of student life, being in the middle of the city, I think a lot of students take advantage of our location to get off campus and have fun, but we have about 150 student clubs and organizations. We do have Division I athletics. We have intramural sports as well, if you're not looking to play quite as competitively, but you still want to play a sport. But I would say a big emphasis at Seattle U is community service. As a Jesuit school with kind of that social justice emphasis, about 85% of our students do some sort of community service by the time they graduate. And given our location in the city, there are tons and tons of resources for our students to dive into and tap into to give back to the community. We are kind of on the cusp of 4 different neighborhoods. The Central District and the International District makes up one of the most diverse zip codes in the nation, and it's also the historically Black neighborhood in the city, the Central District is. So we're working with a lot of the community-based organizations in the city to keep folks in that neighborhood that have been there for a long, long time that are being priced out. So our students are aware of what's going on. They want to be a resource for folks, and our faculty and staff want to be that resource in the city, since we do take up a pretty important piece of Seattle. But there are tons of ways to be involved. There's really no perfect way to do it as a student. It's we want students to find the best way for them to find out who they are at Seattle U. And if my slides will progress here, deadline-wise, we have 2 deadlines: early action and regular decision. Early action is non-binding, as early decision is a binding option. We do not have early decision. November 15th and January 15th are 2 deadlines. We are test optional as well. Really, our way to look at test scores is if you feel that your test scores are an accurate representation of your academic ability, please submit them, but they are not required by any means. They won't make you look more competitive. We know that there's a lot of inequity in the testing process, so please take that as you will, and it's totally your choice. But we do look at everything. It's a holistic review process, which a lot of colleges employ when they review applications, and that means we're looking at every piece of your application: essays, recommendation letters, leadership activities, your transcripts. We want to make sure you're academically prepared and going to do well at Seattle U, but there's a lot of things that go into this. We know you're human beings, and we're human beings as well. And then cost-wise, this is where we're at. Happy to get more information if folks have questions on our costs. And then if you have questions for me, you can be in touch. Thanks so much.
All right, we've got one more institution to present tonight, and that is Columbia College Chicago.
Perfect, thank you. Hi, everyone. My name is Allie. I am the admissions rep from Columbia College Chicago. I'm just trying to get my screen share up and ready. Okay, perfect. All right. So again, my name is Allie. I'm the admissions rep for Minnesota. I'm actually, this is my first year working with Minnesota students. I previously worked with Michigan students, so I'm super excited. A little bit about Columbia. We are a liberal arts college located in downtown Chicago, so specifically the South Loop neighborhood. So this is where all the hustle and bustle is. We're right down the street from the Art Institute, the Bean, the museum campus, the theater district, and the 22-mile-long lakefront trail. So if you like walking, biking, rollerblading, this is a great place for you to get outside. Columbia combines the creative and media arts, liberal arts, and business expertise. So through our curriculum, you're really going to experience the rigorous academics, hands-on learning, collaboration, and career preparation. So what really sets us apart and what makes us uniquely Columbia is that experiential coursework. So it's not going to be all gen eds and theory classes in your first few semesters. You're going to be taking those hands-on courses in your major fields of study in your first year, which is super exciting. We do offer small class sizes and a low faculty student ratio. So our average class size is about 18 students. So with any average, you are going to have some larger classes. These are typically going to take place within your first year. And then some classes are going to be less than the average. So usually in your more specialized and advanced classes, they can even be less than 18 students. So obviously with these small class sizes, this allows for more improved access to faculty members and development of your group project, networking with peers and your faculty members that really connects you to the professionals in your field that's going to help you kickstart your career. And then what really sets us apart again is our faculty. Our faculty members are professionals in their fields, so this makes them uniquely qualified to share their expertise in the classroom because they're living what they're teaching, which is awesome. So they're artists, they're writers, they're podcast producers, animators, dancers, and more. So this connection really helps our students connect to the professionals within their field. We're home to around 7,000 students. This is mostly from our undergraduate population. We do have a small graduate population as well. We offer more than 60 majors and programs. 46% self-identify as students of color, and 33% of our students self-identify as LGBTQIA, and about 16% of our students are first generation. So as I said, we offer more than 60 majors and programs. Our majors do span fields like the visual arts, performing arts, media and digital arts, communication and writing, music and sound, and business and management. So as you can see on this list, if any of these do catch your eye, we do have a lot of information about each of our majors and programs on our website. So visit colum.edu/majors to check that out. You'll also notice we offer several BFA and BMUS majors as well. So students are able to apply directly into these selected programs, or if you don't want to apply right away, you can apply once you are here. So we do practice the rolling admissions process. So we are now accepting applications and continue to do so throughout the year. We do release our first wave of admissions decisions to students in about mid-October, so pretty soon here. And typically students will receive an admissions decision within 4 weeks after their applications are complete and submitted. So we do make admissions decisions based off of a holistic review of your application. So this does include your academic records, so we will need your transcript, as well as any other information you'd like to give us, such as a digital portfolio or a digital audition, letters of recommendation, resume, all of that great stuff we would love to see. What's unique about us this year is we're test free. So this really means that we will not ask you for your test scores as a part of your application, and they will not be used in determining your admissions decision. So they are completely wiped out from our process this year, so we will not ask you for those. And then your auditions and portfolios are required if you are planning on applying for one of the BMUs or BFA programs. They're optional for the BA students, but they'll be used for scholarship consideration. And again, we would love to see your work, so please submit a portfolio if you do have them. Students are considered for 3 automatic scholarships during their application review. So just by submitting your application, we will review for scholarship consideration. So that is merit-based, need-based, and talent-based, and that's pending that portfolio I talked about. We do highly encourage students to complete the FAFSA. So if you are eligible, please do so. If you're not, I'm happy to talk about any alternative options that we have for you. And then just to wrap up, if you are interested in Columbia, you probably see yourself as somebody who is creative and really hungry to learn how to pursue your passions. And we want you to feel free to be yourself. So we're the place where you are celebrated to do so. So please let me know how I can help answer any of your questions that you may have about us, and feel free to stay connected. Thank you, everyone.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much, you all, for being here. That kind of wraps up all of the institutions that we have here today. So just a few minutes, if you have any more quick questions that you want to drop in the Q&A, you can certainly do that at this point. But thank you so much for joining us. When you close this window, there will be a link to a quick 5-minute survey, and we would appreciate any feedback you can provide on your experience tonight. I also would encourage you to check back the schedule and sign up for more sessions. I know that there's one more happening tonight that you won't want to miss. And so you'll be able to find not only this session's recording, but also all of the other recordings at strivescan.com/Minnesota. Doesn't look like we have any questions coming in. So thank you all so much and enjoy the rest of your night.